Hey everyone, this is Russell, and welcome you to the Fast Track Coaching. So my goal with this part of the coaching program is I'm going to be kind of taking you through a high-level view of where we are going, and then from there I'm going to be pushing you into different parts to go deeper inside of the actual Secrets Masterclass, Funnel Builder Secrets, and or the Fill Your Funnel program. And so that's kind of the game plan. And so right now I want to start right now because I know a lot of you guys just got in, you're excited, and it's like, where do I start? And this is where I want you to start. I want to start this first part of the Fast Track because I want you guys to kind of start thinking through some psychology and really give you guys the tools, because everyone's going to have false beliefs as you're coming to this program. My goal is to kind of try and knock down those false beliefs as you are going through that, to kind of block all the barriers. There's going to be a whole bunch of barriers that pop up in your life. There's going to be people, there's going to be situations, there's going to be financial stuff that's going to be coming up. It's going to keep you from doing this. And I want to try to break those barriers down so you can focus on this process. I promise you it's worth it. And I just want to make sure you do it. So the first thing I want to talk about is I want you guys to be okay with the worst case scenario. So what does that mean? I know that a lot of you guys come in, there's different times of your life that you join this program. Some of you guys have made over $1 million and you're trying to get to 10, and that's why you're here, and that's totally cool. Some of you guys, you're coming on the back of like, you had something bad happen, and that's why you were in enough pain to actually make the choice to be part of this. Some of you guys, you may not even have the money to be part of this program. You're like, man, the $18,000 a year, or the $1,800 a month is like a legitimate concern, and it's a financial burden, and you're worried like, how am I gonna be able to afford this every single month? Like, and that's a stress some of you guys have, and I totally understand that. So the first thing that I found is that this is true with me, it's true with a lot of people I've had a chance to work with, is that if you're not completely comfortable and okay with the worst case scenario, what's going to happen is there's going to be this fear of like, what happens if, and all these what ifs are going to be coming, and those what ifs are going to keep you from taking those steps forward, okay? And so you have to be completely okay with the worst case scenario. And I want to tell you guys a story that'll kind of illustrate this. I have a friend who actually joined this program, so he is part of this. So I probably won't mention him by name, but you can probably figure it out. He's a cool guy, but he's a chiropractor, and I'll just tell you his name is Chad Woolner. And Dr. Woolner has been a friend of mine now for almost 10 years. And when he first launched his chiropractic practice, he had it up there, and it was running, and he was struggling because he didn't know how to get leads, he didn't know how to, like, all the different things, right? He had hired a bunch of chiropractic agencies to teach him how to like build his thing, and they're teaching things that are completely outdated and irrelevant. And he was just like, how am I supposed to grow this business that I started? And it got to the point where one night he was like, I'm almost out of money. I have no way to do this. I don't know what to do. And I think it's one of those things kind of like he had a lifeline. So he called me up and he's like, hey man, I need your help. Everything's falling apart. Like I think I'm about to go bankrupt or something. And I don't know what to do, and I need you to help me. And so he had me come to his office. It was like 11 or 12 o'clock at night. And I think he was waiting for me to give him some big marketing secret. Like, okay, this is the magic funnel you need that's going to save you from all of your problems. And as I listened to him talk through things, I was like, the biggest problem he has right now is that he's so scared of the worst case scenario. Like, what happens if I go bankrupt? What happens if my practice folds? Like, what happens if that, because that he has too much fear to be able to step forward. And so I listened to him talk for a while, and then I said, you know what? I said, the biggest thing I can help you with right now is not some secret marketing trick. It's helping you become okay with the worst case scenario. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, well, what's the worst case scenario? And he's like, oh, it's really, really bad. Like, oh, it's horrible. I'm like, well, like, let's get a pad of paper out. Let's write this down. Like, if you did go bankrupt, like, what's the worst case scenario? He's like, well, worst case scenario, like, I would lose my house. I'm like, okay, you lose your house. Like, then what? Well, like, my in-laws would think less of me maybe, and, you know, I'm not taking care of their daughter. I'm like, okay, I write that down. I'm like, what else? I'm like writing all those things down, and everything, like all the worst case scenario stuff that's in his head that's kind of like in our subconscious mind, but we never typically like address it, was there. And we sat there and we addressed it for probably 30 minutes. I'm writing it all down. Finally I was okay, so worst case scenario, this is what's going to happen. And I went through the things. I was like, worst case scenario, you go bankrupt. I'm like, who cares if you go bankrupt? The founding fathers of this country gave us bankruptcy laws so that entrepreneurs like us could risk things and actually change the world. I'm like, that's the blessing from God that we were given. Like, worst case scenario, go bankrupt. Who cares? Like, there's not many entrepreneurs I know who are successful who haven't gone through bankruptcy at least once or twice. Like, okay, so that's not that big of a deal. And he's like, okay. I'm like, what happens if you lose your house? Like, who cares? Like, are you that, like, do you love your house that much? You got to move somewhere else and rent for the next couple of years. You okay with that? He's like, I guess that's not that big a deal. I'm like, what? And went through thing by thing, and I was like, and after a little while, I was like, man, I guess it's not that big of a deal. I'm like, yeah, like, and now that we had it out there, he's like, huh. So worst case scenario, like, that's my thing. Like, that's, like, our mind makes it to be this big, huge thing. It's like, worst case scenario, I got to start over, which is like kind of nice. Now I get rid of all these debts. Like, I could actually start over. Like, okay, now I have the worst case scenario. Like, and we talked about that, and it's like, now you can move forward because worst case scenario, it's not that bad. Okay. I had the same thing. If you've heard my story before, I built up my company to over 100 employees. And one day, everything collapsed around me. I had to fire like 80 people, and everything was like falling apart. And I remember I was stuck in this spot for a day or two. I was frozen. Like, I don't know what to do. And during the middle of this whole thing, it's kind of a long story I'm not going to go super deep into, but Tony Robbins actually called me, and I didn't answer the phone. I missed it, but he left a message, and he said, "Hey, Russell, I heard you're going through some hard times. I don't know what's happening, but," he said, "worst case scenario, let me know, and if you want, I can absorb your company into mine, and you can come work with us, and that'll be the thing." And I was like, okay, worst case scenario, I get to work with Tony Robbins, and that's not that bad. But as soon as I had that's the worst case scenario, then I had the freedom to be able to move forward. And I didn't have to take the worst case scenario, but I had the freedom now of okay, I can risk and gamble because worst case scenario is not that bad. So for all you guys, to start this whole thing out, I want you to be aware of what the worst case scenario is and become super comfortable with it. Worst case scenario, that's what's going to happen. Cool, I can handle that. And if you can handle that, then it's it frees you from all these things that are going to keep you from doing the things you need to do to be successful. Okay, so that's the first thing is spend some time thinking through that. What's the worst case scenario if this whole thing fails, if I run out of money, if I don't, whatever, and write those things down and then become super okay with that, saying, okay, I can handle that. That's not that bad. I'm okay with that. So that's the first thing. Second thing is a lot of people, again, some of you guys have established businesses and you're running and you're just this is stuff to give me fuel to grow it faster. And that's cool if that's you. Some of you guys are here and you're I don't really know exactly what my business is yet. Or I'm not really sure. I just know I want to do this stuff. I'm excited about the marketing. So what am I going to do? And so a lot of times I have friends who ask me what should I be doing if I don't have a business yet? Or I don't know what to do, or I'm not passionate about something yet. And for those, I say the fastest way to make money, especially those who are worrying about $1,800 a month or whatever it is, the best way to make money quick is to sell services. The things you're actually learning in this program, doing those for other businesses. So as you go through Secrets Masterclass, you go through Expert Secrets, you're understanding how to create a good offer, you'll start looking around every single business you know and holy cow, no businesses have good offers. Most businesses are failing because they don't know how to create a really good offer. Okay? And what's interesting, people see me right now and they're oh, Russell's always successful. And it's no, I haven't been successful. In fact, most of my business, I struggled, but in the last 15 years of me doing this business, I have created offer after offer after offer after. I've created so many different offers that I know how to create an offer now. And I had probably a dozen, 2 dozen, 5 dozen offers that have failed, but because I've created so many offers, I know how to create a really good offer. When I create offers now, they just work. Okay, because I've done it so many times. And so for you guys, it's if you're banking your entire business, your entire life on this one offer, and you create an offer and it fails, some of you guys are going to do that and you're going to fail and you're oh man, this doesn't work, funnels don't work because my first offer didn't work. It's no, you just haven't created enough offers. I've created so many offers, so I know what works. I continue to create offers. I'm creating offers all the time, so that's how I know what works. Okay, when you guys heard the offer for this program, Funnel Hacking Live, when we first presented this, it was insane how many people signed up, but I wasn't, we kind of knew what was going to happen because I know how to create an offer. Okay, I know what people are looking for in my market. And the same thing is going to be true for you. So if you don't have a business yet, maybe it's I'm going to go and create offers for the chiropractor down the street and for the dentist and for my friend who owns this business and for my dad who owns this, and help them create offers, and you're going to practice over and over and over again. You're going to get better and better and better at doing it because you're going to find out what people actually respond to. So as you're learning about offers or about funnels or about copywriting or about videos, about whatever it is that you're kind of learning about that's good, you can take those skills that you're learning and offer those to other people. Sell them to businesses, okay? It's not that difficult. In fact, one of my friends who joined this program didn't have the money to join it, and I saw him the night he joined it. That night he posted something on Facebook, said, I'm looking for 6 people to do a $300 a month retention where I can do video work for you. And I was I saw that and it made me smile because he's doing that to cover the fee. How can I get my services to cover the fee for this? And it's the same kind of thing. If you're in that spot right now, okay, dig deep into Secrets Masterclass, learn about offers, and then go find 5 or 6 companies and have them hire you to build offers for them, okay? Or to write copy, or to tell their story, or to do a webinar for them, and that can more than fund it as you're learning this process, okay? And so the best way to get started if you don't have a business right now is start doing these things for other people, and that'll give you the money you need to stay in the program, it'll give you the money you need to buy ads, all that kind of stuff, and you can actually test this on somebody else's dollars. So that's a big thing. Okay, and I want you to understand that and I mentioned this in the welcome video as well, but like my goal for you guys is not to figure out how to make your $18,000 back or your $25,000 or whatever you end up paying to be part of this. That was not my goal, is to get you to break even. If I did that, we all failed. My goal is to teach you a skill set that'll pay you from this point forward for the rest of your life. Okay? I spent the first 4 or 5 years of this business for me trying to figure out how to actually sell something. First 2 years, I made $0. After about 2 years, I started making a little bit of money and it started growing. But as soon as I learned like the process and I built out a team and I had like this thing and like now I had this team, now I can do this over and over and over again. The reason why I've been so successful for the past 15 years is because I spent the first 3 years learning the process and now I know it intimately. Like I'm not trying to guess like, okay, what's the first step? Like I just know it. I can do it over and over and over and over again. So for you guys who are going through this, like if you don't make a bunch of money up front really, really fast, like don't stress out about that. Like the goal for me is to teach you the process, how to create an offer, how to create a funnel, how to drive traffic to it. And after you've got those pieces together and it works, then you can do it over and over and over again. Like you can plug me into any business right now and I can make them blow up because I know how to create an offer, build a funnel, and drive traffic over and over and over again. And so for you, understanding like your goal, your first goals coming in, I keep stressing this because I don't want anybody leaving, breaking the commitment you made to yourself early because you're like stressing out about the money. Like this is a skill set you are learning. After you've learned it, you will have that for the rest of your life. You can do it anytime you want, over and over, for any business. Your own, for other people. Like if my business somehow, if ClickFunnels went bankrupt and everything crashed around me, I would not be stressed out because I would go and I'd find somebody who's excited to work with. I would talk to them and I would get them to pay me to go and create an offer, create a funnel, drive traffic. Okay, like after you know the skill set, you will never lose it and you can use it over and over and over again in any business. Okay, the big thing I learned when I got started 15 years ago was like, is that the thing that we are learning, this process you are learning, is the most valuable skill on planet Earth, okay? And because of that, when you become good at it, you get paid insane amounts of money, okay? And at first you may not, maybe you're gonna get paid a couple $100 to do it, but as you get better, you get paid a couple hundred, then a couple thousand, then tens of thousands, and hundreds of thousands, and now people, like we literally have turned down 8 people in the last like 6 months who've offered me $1 million to build a funnel. I told them no, because I don't have time for it, because the skill set you'll get better and better and better at it, okay? And so what I want you guys to understand is like you guys are in the study of how to create money. And this is like, I think, the most powerful study in the world. In fact, kind of a funny story. When I moved into the house I live in right now, it's kind of crazy. I've never been big on like cars or like vacations or stuff, but I always wanted like a big house. My parents, when I was a kid, I remember they told me they wanted to build the best house so all the neighborhood kids would come to them and come to our yard so that they could play and they could have that happening in their yard as opposed to people going to someone else's house, right? So that, like when I was 12 years old, hearing that, I always thought, okay, I want a crazy house so that all the kids want to come to my house. So for my whole life, that was my goal. And so about 2.5 years ago, I moved into my dream home, and it's kind of ridiculous. You may have seen videos if you watch Funnel Hacker TV. It's on 5-acre lot. We have a full wrestling room, tennis court, swimming pool, hot tub, cryo sauna, float tank, and then we just built soccer field, volleyball, 9 underground trampolines, a kick soccer, full basketball court, and it's ridiculous, right? But it's like that was my dream. That's what I wanted to spend my money on. In fact, I had an interview the other day with a business podcast, and he asked, like, well, what are you investing your money in, Russell? And I said, my kids. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, are you investing like stocks and bonds? I'm like, no, like I do some of that, but for me, I'm investing my money back into my kids because that's what's most important to me. And so that's where I put my money, right? So my house is a little ridiculous. And I first moved in the neighborhood, there was this guy. In fact, if you look at my neighborhood, it's all doctors, dentists, oral surgeons, and bloggers. Like it's the entire neighborhood. It's kind of fun. And this one, when we first moved in that Christmas, went to this little Christmas party with some of the neighborhood guys. And there's this one guy there. He's a super successful doctor and really like one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. And it was kind of the first time I'd really hung out with him. We're sitting there, we're talking, and he's kind of just like staring at me in this weird way, looking at me. And finally I was like, is everything okay? Like, did I say something wrong? And he's like, I don't get it, man. I'm like, you don't get what? He's like, how are you so much smarter than me? And I kind of laughed for a second. I was like, you're a doctor. You cut people open and you like sew their organs back together. And like, there's no way on any planet or any reality that I'm smarter than you. And he kind of laughs. I said, the only difference, the reason why I make more money than you is because I've studied the last 15 years how to make money. That's the only difference. Like, I just invested my time and energy here. You invested in like saving people's lives. You're way smarter than me. But like, I invested my time in how to make money, and so I make more money than you. But you invest your time in how to save people's lives. You can save more people's lives than I can. And that's the only difference. And we kind of laughed and joked about it a little bit. But I always thought about that for people like you who now are coming through this program. Like, you're investing your time learning how to actually make money. That's the most profitable thing you will ever go through. And so it's worth the time, because at first it's going to be tough. Just like if I was going to learn how to like cut somebody open, it's going to take me a while to figure it out. But after you figured it out, that skill will pay you for the rest of your life. And this skill will do the same thing. So it's worth you guys putting in the time and the energy and the investment. I'm saying that because at first, when you're first starting this business, it's like pushing a boulder up a mountain. At first it's hard. You got to figure out how to like create an offer, like what is your what and what's your how and how are you going to sell and how do you tell stories and there's a lot that goes into initially, right? And that initial thing is like pushing a rock up a mountain. But what's crazy about it is, for most of you guys, within the next 12 months, that's what's cool about this, is it's not something that's going to take you guys 4 years of your life or 10 years as the doctor or a whatever. Like, you can figure this out really, really quickly. Within a year, you can get this rock up a mountain and then it comes down the other side. And then as it's rolling down the mountain, it becomes easier and easier and easier. But there's a lot of leg room, like a lot of pushing up front, okay? I remember my senior year in college, I had this, I was taking a creativity class, and because it was like the easiest class on campus, and I was trying to graduate so I could like quit doing school and just, get on with my business. And so in the creativity class, we had to do something creative and then present it to the class. And so I had just launched a membership site. It was called The Lost Files. So those who've been following me for 15 years, you may remember this, but I created the site called Lost Files. It was a membership site. It was like $30 a month, and I had launched it. And in that time, I think my recurring monthly fee from it was like $15,000 a month. So in the class, I go and I present this to the class, and I show them the whole thing behind it and how I did it, and all the work that went into it. I had to do this and this and this, and like, had to hire this guy to build the site. And I showed the whole process from A to Z and showed it. And I showed my bank statements, like from that, now it's like $15,000 a month recurring. And like, I showed it and I got done. And afterwards, my teacher was a little short Indian guy named Dr. Murley, and he starts like going crazy. He runs up, he's like, do you guys understand what he just did? Like, he just created like this business is now paying him money. And like, he was going crazy. He's like, do you guys have any questions for him? And I remember I was looking back, and there was this guy sitting back in the class. And he was like sitting back on his chair. He raises his hand. And so Dr. Murley calls on him. He's like, man, that seems really cool and all, but that seems like a lot of work. And I remember sitting there for a second. And I was like kind of laughing. I was like, yeah, it was a lot of work. For 6 weeks, I dedicated every free waking moment of my life to build this thing, write the sales letter, get the products, like all the kind of stuff that went behind it and launching it. But now it's done, and it's making me $15,000 a month. And now it's like, I just got to keep driving traffic to it. The hard work was done. And I was like, you look at it over the year, that's, at the time it was over 6 figures a year, more than any of my college professors were making off this one thing that took me 2 months of like dedicated hard work. And I remember I kind of told this kid, I'm like, yeah, like it was a lot of work, but now it's done and it's making me 6 figures a year. I'm like, for a year, like our graduation's like 3 months away. I'm like, we're going to graduate and you're going to work 40 hours a week, making $35,000, $40,000 a year, and every year hopefully get an incremental raise. And like in 10 years from now, maybe you're gonna be at $50,000 a year. And I was like, that seems like a lot more work than the 2 months of hard work I had to do. And I always thought that was so funny to me. And so for you guys, I want you to understand, like, it's the same thing. You are in the study of how to build a business, how to make money, how to create money out of thin air. How exciting is that? Like, it's the greatest thing in the world. But yeah, it's going to be hard at first. It's going to be pushing a rock up a mountain. But as soon as you get that initial thing and it rolls, it becomes so much easier. Okay, my life, for me to make money now, it's not that hard. A month and a half ago, I was at a 10X event. I stood on stage for 90 minutes. I made $3 million. Okay, now I couldn't do that like day one, but now that it becomes like when you learn the skill set, it becomes easy. You can do it over and over and over again. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that. The next thing I want to talk about is a lot of you guys came in this program and you have a business or a business idea or something you're doing. And some of you guys in 12 months from now will not be in that same business. I want you to be okay with that. This is the time you guys have right now. Like, this is the best time. If you want to change your business, like, now is the time to do it. I remember I was probably 8 years into my career, making money online, doing all this kind of stuff, and I was miserable. If you've read the .com Secrets book, in the intro of this, I talk about how I woke up one day and I was so miserable, I wanted to quit, but I was the boss and I couldn't quit. I couldn't walk away from it, and I wish that I could. And it was funny, by that time it was December, and Tony Robbins did a video with his wife from Fiji, and they said, it's New Year's, it's coming up around the corner. And he said, New Year's is a nice time, and we can change anytime we want, but New Year's is a good time to do it because people are, giving themselves permission to set new resolutions. So it's like, I want you guys to understand, like, if you don't like your body, change. If you don't like your relationships, change. If you don't like your business, change. And I remember when he said that, it hit me like a pound of bricks. And I was like, I don't like my business. but I was so scared. Like, I don't know how to change this. I don't know, like it's not that good of an opportunity. Maybe it's not a level 10 opportunity, right? My friend who's a doctor, like, he's making good money, but he's capped out. This is as much money he can make. In this kind of business, like, you have no ceiling. You can make unlimited amounts of money. And I remember thinking I wasn't happy in the business I was in. And because Tony said that, I gave myself permission. I said, I'm going to change. And I changed. At first, it was really, really hard because I was starting over from scratch and like everything almost collapsed around us. But I made that shift and I made that change. I said, look, I'm going to change no matter what. What did Tony say? If you want to take the island, you got to burn the bridges. I was like, hey, I burned the bridges and I went down this path. And it was like everything was collapsing around me. Like we almost went through bankruptcy twice. It was like this horrible thing. But I was like committed to that thing. I made a commitment. I was going to keep that commitment. I was going through and I went all in. And because of that, eventually, like, it seemed like almost rock bottom, like the world tests you, right? And all of a sudden, like, it turned around and it became what is now ClickFunnels. Like, it was insane, the shift, but it all came from Tony Robbins giving me permission to change on New Year's. And so because of that, I want to give you permission right now to change. Like, this is your shot. If you want to change, like, now is the time. If you're like, I'm in a business, but it sucks, like, best case scenario, I'm going to make, $50,000 a year in this business, like, you should change the business. Even if there's background and hit, I went 8 years of this business. I literally just burn it and shifted. And because of that, everything good in my life has come because of that. Not everything, my wife came prior, but all the good things in business came because I made that shift and that change. And so I'm giving you guys permission. You're now in this program. If you're in a bad opportunity, if you're not in the thing you should be doing, if this is not your life's mission, you have my permission to change. Now is the time to change, okay? So don't stress out about that. Second thing is, you guys going through this program and you're understanding and mastering the art of how to make money, how to grow companies. A lot of you guys, you're going to be applying this towards a business, and you're going to find out later that like that business was the wrong one, but the skill set you learned, you're going to use somewhere else. For example, Joel Irway came to my inner circle. It was a program we had back in the day called Ignite. It was before Inner Circle, and he went through the Ignite program. And when he first came in, he's like, I'm going to be helping engineers how to make money. I was like, dude, that's a horrible market. Engineers, first off, or he's going to help engineers how to get higher scores so they can make more, whatever. I was like, engineers are not a rabid audience, so you're going to struggle there. He's like, I don't care. Like, I'm an engineer. They're engineers. I'm going to love this. I tried so hard to convince him to not go down that market. And we're going to talk about market stuff here over the next couple of videos. But he was going down a horrible market. I knew it was going to be bad for him, but he didn't want to listen to me. So he went in, he built a webinar, and he started doing these webinars to this market. And he would do these webinars, spend so much time, so much energy. He would webinar after webinar after webinar, but he was in a market that was not hot. They weren't a good market. And we talk a lot in Expert Secrets about like how to find your hot market. Secrets Masterclass will go deep into that. So I want to make sure you guys find a good market, because after spending like 8 or 9 months in this market, he was making hardly any money. But he got like the little money he made, he had gotten his skill set at doing webinars became so good that he did start making a little bit of money, but not a lot. Then he took that skill set, and one of our other Inner Circle members at the time had a webinar that was doing okay, and Joel said, let me do your webinar for you. And he shifted over, and because he had gotten such good skills by doing this other business, he went over there and blew it up. And then Joel's gone on to become a 2 Comma Club winner. But he shifted from the engineers he was at. He started focusing on just doing it for markets that were actually excited about what he was doing, and things blew up. Okay, so some of you guys are going to apply this stuff to the existing business you're in, and it's going to grow, and it's going to be like pulling teeth, but your skills are going to get better and better and better, where you can do like Joel, and it's like, let me shift this to a different market, and all of a sudden, boom, it can explode. Okay, so I want to give you guys permission to make that shift now or when it makes sense. Like, don't feel bad about that. Like, this is the time you can design whatever you want. That's the coolest thing about this business is you can. Like, if I decided tomorrow, like, I want to sell ClickFunnels and like, I want to become a weight loss guru, I'm not going to do that. But let's just say I did. Like, I could do that. I've got the skill set. I know exactly what to do and how to do it. And so I could do that really easily. And it's the same thing for you. Like, you're learning this skill set, how to build a business, how to make money, how to create offers, how to drive traffic, how to build funnels. Like, this skill set can apply to any business. So you might as well do it for an amazing business. And now is the time for you to pick that. Pick the business that you're most passionate about that's going to be exciting. Okay. All right. Next thing. All right, this is the number one lesson I learned from my dad. I've learned tons of good stuff from my dad, but he said there's 2 types of people in this world. He said there's people who find problems and there's people who find solutions. Okay? People who find problems and there's people who find solutions. Okay? Now, most of humanity, most of the world, they find problems. Problem. Like, that's what the world does. The people like us who make the money are the people who find solutions. So my dad said that there's 2 types of people. People who find problems and there's people who find solutions. He's like, be the kind of person who finds solutions. Okay? Business is all about finding solutions to other people's problems. Okay? So for you, you're going to listen to Steven inside the Secrets Masterclass, and he's going to be talking about being a self-solver and self-solver challenges. He's going to be focusing on getting you guys to become self-solvers, because the people that can find solutions are the people who make money in this world. Okay, I'm gonna be giving you guys tools. We're a coaching program though, okay? I want you to understand this. I did a whole rant on a podcast a little while ago. I want you to understand that, like, I talked about daycares versus coaching versus things like that. You know, I said, look, if you want to have a daycare where someone's going to come and they're going to wipe your butt, that's one thing. That's not what this is about. Okay, my goal is to give you the tools and the information, but this is a self-service program. You could never log in once again, and I'm not going to call you on the phone and try to bring you in. Like, this is up to you. Okay, this is a coaching program. When I was a wrestler, when I grew up, a lot of you guys know that. And I remember my coach would show up and he would coach. And then when the coach got done, he would leave. And then my dad would come in afterwards. And my dad would just say, look, a coach can take any athlete to this level. But he's like, champions, they have to go the extra level themselves. Okay? And so for you, this is your chance. Like, if you want to make money in this business, you have to stop being someone who finds problems and start being someone who finds solutions. Do you understand that? That's what's going to differentiate you from everybody else. If you're the kind of person who can find solutions, okay? Everything you're going to learn about business is the people who make money are ones who find solutions. So when you do shift your mindset from like, I'm finding problem, that's the rest of the world, to I'm a solution finder, okay? And that starts with you going through the coaching program. Like, we're going to give you as much tools and training and resources and everything we can. We're here to help you and support you. But it's up to you to be a self-solver, to find the solutions. Okay, and as you become better at finding solutions, you're going to become better at making money, because all that making money is finding people who have a problem and giving them a solution. That's like, if you look at the raw essence of business, that's all it is. And so the better you become at finding people with problems and you create solutions, the more money you're going to make. And it starts today. Okay, so shifting that mindset for yourself is, I'm going to become a solution finder, not a problem finder. All right. The next one I'm talking about. So number one rule of marketing, again, this comes down to, you need to sell what people are buying. Like, this is, I can't tell you how many people start businesses not understanding this. You're going to sell what people are buying. I'm going to get into that here with some sketches I'm going to make here in a second, but you got to sell what people are buying. Rule number one of marketing, sell what people are buying. I'm going to come back to it a lot, but that's the key to this thing. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, make something new. I'm trying to figure out, what are people buying, and I'm going to sell them something like that. Okay? Like, that's it seems really simplistic, but as we get deeper through this program, you see how powerful and how important that is. You hear me talk about that a lot. Okay, now again, this coaching program is 3 core phases. At first, offers, funnels, and traffic. I talked about it a lot in the welcome video. I'm not going to go too deep anymore right now, but there's offers, there's funnels, and there's traffic. Okay, those are the 3 phases of the program. Now, as we're starting into this first, this quick start videos, I'm going to be focusing initially here on the offers part of things, okay? And helping you guys get really solidified on what exactly it is you're selling. I'm going to be going kind of a higher level through it during the quick start, and then I want you guys going deep into Secrets Masterclass to really figure it out. In fact, I recommend for most people, even if you have a successful offer right now, you're going to, like, the deeper you go into Secrets Masterclass, you're going to get better at making offers. Like, and again, I've been making offers for 15 years now, and every time I do, it gets better and better and better and better and better. And so it's not something that's like, okay, an offer, I'm good. Like, should be continual study and something you do over and over and over again. And so the process I'm going to be taking you through over the next couple modules here in the quick start are going to be going deep into that. Now, obviously, this first video, the quick start, is going to be the longest. Got a lot of groundwork I want to cover first. Moving forward, they will be a lot quicker. So just be aware of that as well. Okay. So what I want to talk about right now, this is going to lead into your very first homework assignment that I'm going to give you here in a few minutes. So inside the .com Secrets book, in the very first section here on page number 13, I talk about a concept called the secret formula. And the secret formula, in fact, I will doodle this out here so you guys can all see it. There's basically four aspects here. The first thing is the who. Who is it? Let's see. That's a horrible fish. You guys are wondering how I'm so good at drawing. Usually I have one of my designers that helps me with these things. I doodle it out and he actually draws it. So there's the who. Number 2 is the where. So here is a big pond and there's a bunch of fish in there. I'll explain this here in a second. Who, where. And we have bait. This is how we're going to be getting people out of here. The bait, by the way, is your offer. And then over here we have the result. And the result now is where we are taking our people. Okay. So this is the secret formula. Now, kind of where this whole concept came from is, I talked about this earlier. I woke up one day after 5 or 6 years in business and I realized I was miserable. And it was funny, if those who are at Funnel Hacking Live, Tony Robbins talked about this as well. He says that people who become obsessed with their product don't build big companies. People who become obsessed with their customers, the who right here, are the ones who build great companies. Okay, so for you, the first step is like, is understanding that like this is the key, is who are my customers, who am I gonna support, who am I gonna serve? Okay, it's not what product am I gonna create, it's this, it's really figuring out and mastering that, okay? So who is the first thing? Who is the person you wanna serve? And the second question I wanna ask you guys though, for this is what's the result you wanna get them, okay? So I wanna serve entrepreneurs, I wanna help them to launch sales funnels to scale their company, right? That's the result I wanna give people, okay? It's not a product, it's a result I wanna give people, okay? I wanna serve, I think about Kaylin, right? So she's serving women who are overweight, and the result she wants to get them in the best shape of their life, right? Like that's the result they wanna give them. Notice I didn't say I'm gonna sell them a 6-week course, it's gonna blah, blah, like, no, the result is what I'm talking about, right? So who is it you wanna serve, and then what's the result you wanna get for them? Okay, and this is true in any business. If I'm a dentist, who am I going to serve? People in my local city who need their teeth cleaned. What's the result? I'm going to give them the best teeth cleaning possible. I'm going to make their teeth white and straight and amazing. That's the result I'm going to get to them, right? If I'm in e-commerce, like I want to have a physical product, like who am I serving? I'm going to, like, this is the audience I want to serve with my product. The result I'm going to give them is this amazing thing, right? It's not a product, it's the result I'm going to give them. So that's the first thing I is understand. Okay, and then we're gonna get deeper through the training program. We're gonna get deeper into these other things here, like the bait and where are they at and stuff like that. Now, what I want to talk to you guys about today, and what's gonna lead into your first homework assignment here, is now that you know kind of who it is you want to serve and what's the result you're trying to get to them. I want you to understand too that like people that you're gonna meet, this isn't the first time they've tried to get that result, right? If you're in the weight loss market, it's not the first time they try to lose weight. Okay, don't be naive. I think Kaylin told me the average woman goes on 8 weight loss plans a year, 8. So this is not the first time they tried to get a result. If it's making money, if someone comes into my programs, I understand that the way that I teach people is not the first way. They tried real estate, they tried stock markets, they tried selling stuff on eBay, they tried to get the result they want is they want financial independence, right? That's the result they want. I'm not the first time they've tried to get it, okay? So the foundation for all this is understanding that and saying, okay, this is not the first time they try to get the result. So how are they currently trying to get the result? Okay, this comes back to what I talked about earlier. Sell what people are buying. What are they buying right now to try to get that result? Okay, and if you don't know what that is, this is. I can't tell you how many people come into coaching programs with me, and I ask them, I'm like, okay, like what are people currently doing to try to get the result you're offering them? And they're like, oh, no one's ever thought of this before. I'm the only person. I'm like, then you're screwed. That's not a good business to be in. Okay, you want to go into businesses where people are already trying to get that result. And so what I'm looking at is this. I'm going to draw this little thing and make this red. So this is the red ocean here, right? We're gonna be going red ocean, blue ocean here over that first couple modules because it's important. Okay, and if you read the book, Red Ocean, Blue Ocean, even if you haven't read the book, doesn't matter. The title tells you everything, right? He said that if you look at the way that business began, in fact, I'm gonna map that. This is from the Expert Secrets book, right? So in the Expert Secrets book, we talk about this. There's 3 core markets, and Stephen Larson at Funnel Hacking Live, he positioned in a way that was brilliant too. He said it's not just 3 core markets, it's 3 core desires. So if you look at the 3 core desires here. There's health, wealth, I'll do wealth here, and then there's relationships. Okay, so it's 3 core markets or the 3 core desires, okay? Now initially, when the very first person ever on planet Earth had an idea like, I'm gonna teach people how to be healthy, they were in this blue ocean, they were the only person, so they're sitting out there, they're throwing their line in with a hook on the end, they're pulling out fish like crazy, they're making a bunch of money, and they were the only ones. Okay, the first person ever about teaching relationships, they were the only ones, it was the blue ocean, they were the only ones, it was amazing, they're pulling fish out, they're making a bunch of money, same thing with wealth, right? They're the only ones. But then what happens? Someone looks over and like, that dude's making a ton of money teaching people how to be wealthy, I know how to make people wealthy, and they jump in, and all of a sudden there's 2 people, 3, 4, 10, 100,000, and all of a sudden there's 1 million people teaching people how to be wealthy, right? And so now that goes from this blue ocean to this bloody ocean, where there's 1 million people all fighting over the fish, and it becomes this bloody ocean, right? And so that's kind of the first thing. Then if you look at like how the markets have shifted from there, it moves to the next phase, which is a sub-market. Okay, so this is a sub-market. So it's inside of wealth. It's like, well, all these people are fighting about wealth, and also one guy's like, well, everyone's teaching wealth, but I'm gonna teach wealth through this thing called real estate. And so he jumped in the sub-market, and all of a sudden they launched this thing called real estate. And they were the only ones. And all of a sudden this is blue ocean, they're making a bunch of money, and then what happens? Everyone's like, well, I can do real estate too. And all of a sudden it jumps in and it bloodies up the waters, right? And then inside of wealth, someone's like, well, I can teach how to do stocks. And so the sub-market here is stock market, right? There's a stock market, and there's a sub-market of whatever, like a sub-market I'm in is like internet marketing, and there's different things, right? So there's these sub-markets for the next phase. And at first those are these blue amazing oceans, but they become bloody. And so the market you have inherited in today's world, most of these sub-markets are all bloody red, right? Like these are all red oceans now. These are all red oceans now. And so for you to be successful, truly successful, like there's ways you can plug in here and like fight with everybody else, but if you want to be successful and like have a business that grows, it can grow like huge, it's you got to come in and you got to create your own blue ocean, okay? So you're gonna come inside of real estate and say, look, I'm gonna do something different. This is your niche, we call this the niche, and you're getting this blue ocean, I'm gonna be the only person. So I have a friend that teaches people how to flip houses on eBay. He's the only one doing it, he's a blue ocean, he's making a ton of money because of that. Okay, and he's got this thing, and he's creating a blue ocean. Okay, and so part of what we're going to talk about in the future is what's your blue ocean. But today I don't want you to figure that out. All thing I want to figure out is like, where is the red ocean that my people are currently in? Okay, where is the red ocean? So we go from health, wealth, and relationships. Then there's a sub-market, stock market, real estate, whatever. If you're in health, there's weight loss, weight gain, strength training, there's running, there's a million sub-markets, right? So I want to figure out like where are your people currently at? What's the sub-market? What's the red ocean they're currently in? Okay, this is key for you to understand that, because when I come and the entire business is based off of like, if I'm going to build this blue ocean, it's like finding this red ocean, and we're going to be throwing rocks at it, we're going to be pulling the fish out of it, like we're going to be saving people, we're going to be opportunity switching them from this red ocean into your blue ocean, okay? And we're going to get deeper into that, so don't stress about that. But it all comes down to understanding, boom, is where is your red ocean? Where are those people at, okay? Because we have to know where they are if we're going to switch them and move them in. Before we create an offer, I need to know like what are they currently getting to try to get this result. Okay, this is the big aha I want you guys to understand today. Okay, and so we're not going to go deep. We're not going to figure out the blue ocean today because that doesn't matter for right now. The only thing I want you guys to figure out, I'm going to erase this right here. The only thing I want you to figure out is where are they currently at to get that result. Okay, they're trying to get that result through a bunch of other ways. So if I'm in weight loss, they're trying the Atkins diet, they're trying the paleo diet, they're trying this one, they're trying this, they're trying this, they're trying like, where are they currently at? Because you need to become intimately aware of that. This is where we're going to funnel hack, we're going to offer hack, like all sorts of stuff we're going to be doing on the next couple of modules. It's all coming down to this. And if you don't understand this, you're in big trouble. Okay? You have to do your homework. I'm going to stress this over and over and over again. Okay? I had a guy join one of my programs one time using the real estate market. He's like, I'm a real estate guru. I'm teaching people to flip houses. And I'm like, cool. I'm like, so who are your competitors? He's like, nobody else is teaching this. I said, you're going to fail. Because right now I could list off at least 85 different real estate gurus because I made a Dream 100 list one time of them. And I know at least 85 people doing exactly what you're doing. If you don't know who those people are, you are in trouble. You need to do your homework. Okay, and so right now, this is your thing. You need to do your homework. So for you, this is what your homework is I want you guys to do. I'll do it in blue. So number one is I want you to figure out who is it that you actually want to serve. Who is it where if you woke up in the morning and you could hang out with them every single day, you'd love it. Okay, the worst thing you can do is try to figure out how to sell something and then you attract the wrong person and then you're miserable. Okay, 8 years of my life was that way. And I woke up miserable because I wasn't serving the right people. Okay, a month ago I was at Funnel Hacking Live with 3,000 entrepreneurs in the room. My people, my who. Okay, I didn't just guess and hopefully people show up. Like I architected that from every offer I created, architected my dream client so they would get there. Okay, and you can do the same thing. Like this is your time to choose and change everything. So who do you actually want to serve? Who is the person, if you woke up in the morning like, I could hang out with that person every day, it would change your life. It would make you so excited and so passionate, like you would do anything to be able to serve that person. Who is it? Okay, and spend some time thinking about that. Okay, dream that, like if I did an event like Russell did and I had 3,000 people in the room, like what do those people look like? What do they do? What are they passionate about? What do they look like? Figure that out. Okay, number two is what is the result you want to get for them? If you try to tell me a product name, you failed, okay? I'm not talking about product. What's the result you want to get for them? Okay, ClickFunnels. Our mission is to enable people to grow their companies through sales funnels. I want to attract successful entrepreneurs who I can help grow their companies through sales funnels. That's the result I want to get to people, okay? Now I can reverse engineer that with the products, right? I'm going to create software, I'm going to create books, I'm going to create all these things to do that. Like, we're not talking about that today. I just want to, this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to try to get people to scale their company. That's the result I want them to get, scale their company. Then I'm figuring out, okay, well, where are they currently, what's the red ocean they're currently in? Trying to figure that out, okay? I'll do number 3 in red. For red ocean, but where are they currently going to try to get that result? Okay, and I want you guys to be detailed about this. I would get out an Excel sheet and be like, okay, they go to this website right here, and like this, we're listing out your competitors, the people that are in the red ocean right now that you're going to be pulling people out of. Like, who are those competitors? Okay, and list out the websites. So it's let's just say for me, Let's say I was in stock market, okay? So it's like, there's this person here, there's this person, and sometimes they're gonna be people, they're gonna be like guru-based things, sometimes they're companies, sometimes they're, but I'm trying to figure out where are they currently at? I need to know that, because in the next modules, we're gonna go into like, what are their offers? How they actually, like, we're gonna try to figure out and reverse engineer what they're doing, so we know how to create the right offer to track these people out of the red ocean into my blue ocean, okay? So I want you guys to do some homework and figure those things out. This is important because tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but the next video in here, we're gonna be going through, and I'm gonna be showing you guys how to actually offer hack these people. And the video number 2 here is called offer hacking. So we need to figure out where are the people that are selling stuff, okay? If you're like, I don't know how to find those people, act like you are this who. If I was this who and I'm trying to get this result, what would I do? I'd go to Google, I type in how to make money, how to lose weight. I type in, and so like type in Google what this dream person would do if they were trying to get that result. Okay, and then go to people's pages, opt into their list, look at their products, see what they're selling, go through Google, go to Facebook and be like, hey, if I was this person, I was trying to get that result, what would I look for? I go to Facebook and I try to find this fan page, and I'd be looking at this fan page and like, act like you are this person, become this person for a little while, okay? Put yourself in their shoes and go on this journey figuring out, if I wanted to get that result, how would I try to get it? Where would I go on Instagram? Where would I go on Facebook? Where would I go on Google? Where would I go on YouTube? And start searching for those things and find out who's in your market. You should become intimately aware. I should know that these are all the ways that my customers are trying to get that result right now. And here's the people that are giving them those solutions. Okay? And so that's your homework assignment tonight. It's not difficult. It's not that hard. I want you to figure out who it is you want to serve, what's the result you want to get to them, and then where are they currently trying to get that result from right now. Okay, and I want this to be website URLs because we're going to be offer hacking them in the next video, and so we need to be able to find those things, okay? So now is the time for you to do some homework. Now, a lot of you guys say, well, how many should I find? Should I find like 1? Should I find 3? You should be insane about this. This is your business. This is the foundation. Go as deep as you can. I find minimum of 10, probably 20 or 30 or more, but find as many as you can and try to figure out this market. Understand where are these people coming from, okay? Find out where it is in this red bloody ocean that you're going to be pulling people out of. Okay, and the next video I'm going to go deep into offer hacking. Now we know those people are, let's look at those offers and figure those things out. What are their hooks? What are their stories? What's their offer? How do they structure their offer? Okay, the more you understand what other people are doing, the easier it'll be for you to create your offer the right way. Okay, so that's the very first thing here in the fast track. Now again, this video was the longest one by far because I have a lot of foundational stuff I want to cover with you guys, but the assignment is simple. Figuring this out, figuring this part out, and then on the next one, I'm going to be going into offer hacking. With that said, I highly recommend you guys go into Secrets Masterclass because Steven's going to be going super deep into stuff as well. In Secrets Masterclass, there's a bunch more videos. If you've read the Expert Secrets book, it goes a lot more detail as well. But for today, I want you to figure this out. Who do you want to serve? What result do you want to give them? And where are they currently trying to get that result from? What are the website URLs of the things that they're buying right now to try to get that result? Okay, and as soon as we know that stuff, it's the beginning for everything we need to do to be able to actually serve this customer, create our blue ocean, create a really good offer, and then if you have the right offer, everything else becomes easy. Okay, funnels become easy, traffic becomes easy. So many times people in our world, because we talk about funnel so much, they focus on funnel, and they have this funnel with a horrible offer. Okay, if you want to be successful, the offer, it's the foundation, it's the key. You get the offer right, then the funnel becomes super easy. The funnel's easy, and then the traffic becomes, like, everything becomes easy. Now, some of you guys are running local businesses, right? You're like, well, I don't know how, like, there's no ClickBank for my world to find these things. Like, where are they at? Well, look at Groupon, look at Living Social. All those companies are aggregators of offers. Now, they're not always the best offers. Sometimes they attract freebie seekers. You don't want to create an offer that's going to attract a freebie seeker, but that doesn't matter right now. Like, go into Groupon and see, like, okay, if I go to every single city in America, what are the chiropractic offers that are running that are working well? Like, you just need to be aware of it. What are the laser hair removal offers that are working well? What are these that, like, go out there, you're just doing the homework to try to figure these things out because we're gonna need those things, okay? So that's the game plan, that's homework assignment. Again, it's super simple, super easy, and then we're gonna layer things on this, okay? So the next video, we're gonna be going deep into this. So if you don't have this, you are in trouble. Do not go to the next video until you have the links to at least 10 other products people are buying to try to get the same result that you're going to be offering people. Does that sound good? All right, thanks you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.